Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight in support of Project Healthy Minds, our partners at Archwell Foundation, and the true leaders in mental health access.
Just as I see in you, the present and the future. And I reiterate that point because oftentimes we speak to young adults about the years ahead, about what you'll do, what you'll have to adopt to fix from previous generations.
For years, the Duchess of Sussex has worked tirelessly to craft a flawless image: perfect wife, perfect mother, perfect humanitarian. But every polished image has its cracks. Behind the public smiles and curated appearances, whispers of tension, staff complaints, and endless speculation about cosmetic enhancements have followed her like a shadow. The world can be convinced for a while, but not forever.
This is Jeffrey Epstein, multimillionaire, hedge fund manager, businessman with famous, powerful friends, and also convicted sex offender. Just weeks ago, court documents pertaining to his sex trafficking case were unsealed by a New York court.
And now, the storm surrounding the Epstein saga has pushed everything else into the background. It's a case so infamous that you'd have to be living underground not to know it: power, money, scandal, elite circles, and dark secrets hidden behind glamorous masks. At the center was a man who mingled with presidents, billionaires, global influencers, and even royal figures.
That's an island over a mile away from St. Thomas, the main island. And it's out there and it's isolated. He purchases that, right? Then he owns the jet.
Jeffrey Epstein lived a life most people could only imagine. His private jets, lavish parties, and high-profile connections made him the envy of many. But beneath that shimmering surface was something far darker, a secret that only insiders whispered about, a truth that would eventually shake the world.
How do you get off? It's not like a person who's on the island can just say, okay, I'm going to swim to St. Thomas.
His private island, later dubbed by the public as Pedophile Island, became the setting for one of the most disturbing sex trafficking scandals of the modern era. Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell were accused of luring vulnerable underage girls into a world of manipulation, exploitation, and abuse. The shock was global. A man so connected, so respected, unveiled as a predator hiding in plain sight.
Have you ever solicited a minor for prostitution?
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
Somehow, his lawyers had worked out a deal with the U.S. Attorney's Office.
It was more evidence of the fact he was powerful and he could fix what everything came up.
This case was one of the worst failures of the criminal justice system.
Epstein's downfall began in 2008 after years of rumors. Even then, the consequences were astonishingly light, just 13 months in jail on reduced charges. Yet he returned to society without losing his powerful connections. Among them, Prince Andrew.
Businessman and convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. We know Prince Andrew got to know Jeffrey Epstein in 1999. We know that he saw him fairly regularly.
The two were photographed together numerous times: lavish gatherings, high society events, exclusive parties. Their friendship raised questions long before the truth came to light. When the pair were seen strolling casually through Central Park in December of 2010, the world noticed.
We know that Prince Andrew had a relationship of some sort with Virginia Roberts. She is the woman that Prince Andrew's got his arm around in this photo.
This was after Epstein had already been convicted. Then came the bombshell, the now infamous photograph of Prince Andrew with a young woman, Virginia Giuffre. She was 17 at the time and later alleged she had been trafficked to the prince by Epstein.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating.
Andrew denied everything. His explanation, that he couldn't sweat due to a medical condition, became one of the most talked about claims in recent memory. He insisted he had no memory of meeting her at all. Then, in 2019, Epstein was arrested again, this time on federal charges. Just weeks later, he was found dead in his cell. Suicide, according to officials. A conspiracy, according to many.
go to the United States, but I didn't have much time with him. I suppose I saw him once or twice a year, perhaps maybe maximum of 3 times a year.
With Epstein gone, all eyes turned to Prince Andrew once again. His attempt to clear his name through a BBC interview backfired spectacularly. Critics called it arrogant, tone-deaf, and catastrophic. Within days, his public reputation crumbled, and he quietly stepped back from royal duties. Though he maintained his innocence, he settled Giuffre's lawsuit in 2022 for a reported multi-million-pound sum without admitting wrongdoing.
Can't call him Prince Andrew anymore. His big brother, the King, stripped him of his titles today, which also included Earl of Inverness and Knight of the Order of the Garter.
By 2025, the consequences became official. King Charles stripped Andrew of his royal titles, Prince, Duke of York, Earl of Inverness, Baron Kalile, and removed his right to be called His Royal Highness. Soon after, he vacated his Windsor residence. The fall was complete.
You're taught that predators are old men in alleys. You're not told that a friend, a socialite.
But Epstein wasn't the only figure under the microscope. Enter Ghislaine Maxwell, British socialite, once a fixture in elite circles, now a convicted sex trafficker. Her role wasn't peripheral. She was accused of recruiting, grooming, and manipulating young girls for Epstein's abuses. Even behind bars, she hasn't stopped talking.
Anyone and everyone, including his family. However, Ghislaine was reportedly his favorite child.
I think she was a little spoiled. I think I could see that.
After Maxwell purchased the Oxford United Football Club, he gave his daughter the job of director.
The daughter of publishing mogul Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine grew up surrounded by privilege, wealth, and influence. From London to New York, her life was a carousel of elite events and powerful acquaintances, politicians, celebrities, business titans. Her world looked perfect, but her father's death and its aftermath cracked everything open.
But by going to police, Maria felt the full force of Maxwell's fury. Terrified, Maria went into hiding and gave up her art career. What sort of threats has she made against you?
Originally, it started with things like, I'm gonna burn your art.
After Robert Maxwell's mysterious death at sea, her ties to Epstein deepened. Slowly, allegations emerged that she wasn't just aware of Epstein's activities, she was central to them. From befriending vulnerable girls to ushering them into Epstein's orbit, she became a key player in the trafficking network prosecutors later exposed.
Verdict has been reached in the trial of Jeffrey Epstein's former confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell. Longtime Epstein associate is guilty of all but one charge she faced.
According to survivor testimony, she wasn't a bystander. Some girls said she coached them, manipulated them, and facilitated Epstein's predatory behavior. Was she loyal? Was she trapped? Or was she just as complicit as the man she supported? The world may never know the full truth.
When Ghislaine Maxwell, the one-time madam of billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, was last year convicted of sex crimes against underage girls, her victims hoped a jail cell would silence her. Turns out they were wrong. As well as appealing her 20-year sentence, Maxwell has now begun a concerted campaign.
In 2022, she received a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking minors, a stunning downfall for someone once welcomed by the elite. By 2025, she had been moved to a lower security facility in Texas. But her silence didn't follow her there. She kept talking, kept naming, kept hinting. And one of her recent claims? It dragged another royal name into the storm.
Meghan Markle is getting raised for her raspberry jam, but some are criticizing its runny texture. Turns out it's not actually jam. Under FDA regulations, it's technically a spread.
The disgraced socialite Ghislaine Maxwell is back in the headlines, and this time, she's name-dropping Meghan Markle. From behind prison walls, Maxwell has hinted at knowing pieces of Meghan's life before the fame, before the royal spotlight, before the global image of the humanitarian Duchess was born. For years, Meghan has presented a journey of transformation, from a working actress to a modern, socially conscious royal figure. Carefully curated appearances, charitable speeches, and an ever-growing public brand. But Maxwell's sudden mention of her, vague, unsettling, and impossible to verify, has stirred speculation about what she claims to know.
Who was only 14 years old when she was assaulted by Epstein, said of his strategy, Jeffrey preyed on girls who were in a bad way, girls who were basically homeless. He went after girls who he thought no one would listen to, and he was right. The girls, who are mostly between the ages of 13 and 16.
Maxwell has been at the center of Epstein-related allegations for years, accused of witnessing, even facilitating, horrific actions. Now, from prison, she suggests she was familiar with people in Epstein's orbit, including Prince Andrew. She even implies she recognized certain names connected to the wider scandal. None of this has been proven, and Maxwell's credibility is widely questioned. But the mere suggestion that she knew more than she let on, and that Meghan somehow crossed paths with powerful figures involved in Epstein's world, has sent rumor mills into overdrive.
I was doing Confessions of a Female Founder as I was building this. I'd always loved the podcast, How I Built This. And I thought, could we do something that feels a little bit like the tenor of how I'm building this?
To many, this contrast is jarring. Meghan's public brand centers on empowerment, reinvention, and authenticity. Maxwell's claims, however unverified, paint a very different picture. It all began when Maxwell mentioned a supposed document, a CV she claims existed years before Meghan stepped into royal life. She insinuated it contained information the Duchess has never publicly addressed. Whether the document exists or not remains completely unproven. But the idea alone was enough to ignite widespread speculation.
It started so well. A dashing prince with the love of his life.
For some, this is just another attempt to tarnish Meghan's reputation, another chapter in an ongoing smear campaign. Her supporters argue that Maxwell, a convicted offender with nothing to lose, is simply trying to drag others down with her. But others believe the timing and tone of the comments feel too deliberate to dismiss. In the court of public opinion, even the smallest rumor can fracture a carefully built image.
Blame game, much of it directed at Meghan, is fierce. It hasn't yet progressed to off with her head, but it's still a major headache.
What makes this situation even more intriguing is Meghan's silence. The Duchess has never been known to stay quiet when accusations fly. From interviews to documentaries to strategic media appearances, she has repeatedly taken control of her narrative, countering stories before they gain traction. But now, nothing. No statement, no clarification, no subtle social media messaging. Just silence, and in public scandals, silence can be interpreted in more ways than one. Is it legal advice? Strategic restraint? Or something else? Because when Maxwell, a figure at the center of one of the darkest scandals of modern celebrity culture, makes insinuations, the world listens, even if the claims remain unverified and possibly self-serving.
Everyone looks pretty unhappy, essentially. Apart from, I dare say, Meghan. Look at the expression on her face. She seems kind of pleased, really, as if maybe she's got what she wanted.
A duchess who rose from Hollywood obscurity to royal halls now finds her name circling through the same storm clouds tied to Epstein and Maxwell, even if through nothing more than implication. And whether Maxwell's so-called CV exists or is pure invention, the timing couldn't be more explosive. Is Ghislaine Maxwell grasping for relevance behind bars, using high-profile names to keep herself in the headlines? Or is Meghan's past, carefully curated and tightly controlled, finally being tested by forces she never anticipated? For now, Meghan's silence speaks louder than any interview could. And if royal history has taught us anything, it's this: secrets rarely stay buried forever. So until facts emerge, the world is left with a single lingering question. Is Meghan Markle the target of yet another baseless smear campaign? Or has Ghislaine Maxwell just cracked open a story the palace hoped would never see the light?